Hello everybody and welcome under the lights here in Bahrain, one of my favorite tracks to watch a race on and drive on. Everyone's favorite track, just have a grand old one lap race around, especially heading into the first turn. That first turn is very treacherous to a lot of people. I've realized I left this image up here, so let's go fix that right now. Alright. Great start to that. Great start. We have two cars coming out. That's a Force India, I believe, of Some Idiot or Adricide. So let's go on board with Some Idiot. Just see if that's him. I believe it's him. No, that was Adricide. Congratulations. Oh god. Okay, let's go on board with... That wasn't a... Alright, who's on the route lab? Let's go on board with Nikki. Everyone's got the rev glitch. So, everyone's got the rev glitch going on. I guess it's just a start-stop thing, and... Alright, as we get that rev glitch figured out... And just lap data out. Let's talk about the track of Bahrain. Bahrain is in the country of Bahrain. No duh. We got 16 minutes to this qualifying session. We're just going to see a few outlaps, maybe. Everyone's coming on these super soft tires, and we do actually have a really bad problem. But let's go on board with Nicky as he's weaving down the back straight, and I believe ready to go. Yeah, he's got that rev glitch still. As we are ready to go. Qualifying here in Bahrain. Opens up DRS and is flying down the front straight. I see a car up there just pulling to your right. We got a yellow flag in section 1. I believe that is Allen's who stopped on the straight. Yes, that is Allen T. Nicky gets really loose on the back. His back end flying way wide. Way out of there, very tail happy, a bit of oversteer actually coming out of turn 1. Turn 1, 2, and 3, very tricky to get right if you're pushing. We see Nicky riding on the curbs just a little bit as Toe 6 has finally come out of his driver's box and coming out onto the track into his garage. Update on the current champion, current leader of the championship here in round 2, Formula Danny. He won't be in this race today because he has a he actually has a little thing he has to go do for esports stuff. I believe Mercedes told him he needs to come up to where Mercedes told him that he had to go somewhere and he's got a prior engagement. So Danny, from all of us here, we miss you. See you in round 3. As Path sets the newest fastest lap and first lap of a 1:26.141, followed by Monster. Nicky opens up DRS, comes out of the front straight. Let's see where that puts Nicky. It puts him in second. Adricide sounding pretty good. Rev glitch is still a thing. Opens up DRS. I do not want to be in this camera mode, but he comes across the line, and he's in 5th. Merrick, who said it was looking for a stronger race than last year, comes across in 2nd. We got a yellow flag in sector 1. I believe that is just for somebody waiting. How's Assassin doing? Assassin drive for Alfa Romeo this year. Very happy about his first race. Tote. You don't know that car you're in? Alright. Little update on Toe 6. He doesn't know what car he's been in, but I believe it won't affect you since you join all halfway in, so whatever car you'll get, you'll be fine. Thank you for letting us know. I'm a message agent stuff about this. Not me. Let's go on board. Tolga, see how he's doing. Comes across the line. Oh, actually, he's starting his flying lap. Hey, we got the rev glitch fixed. So there's the lap around Bahrain. Turn 1 is a very tight hairpin, followed by a sweeping turn 2 and 3 as Merrick sets the new fastest lap of 1:26.122. Coming into turn 4 is a hard right-hander, very long, into the S's of 6, 7, and 8. Hard onto the gas, and then onto the brakes. Heavy, a bit of lockup going into the right-hander of turn 9, over the crest into 10, 11. This is one very tricky left-hander double. It's a double corner, so it's very hard to get a good exit on this. Into the flowing left-hander, off the DRS into the right-hander. You'll see a lot of cars get a bit loose, so they run onto the curbs. So some incidents may happen later in the race with the lower grip specs, lower grips of these tires. So very, very interesting. Then into the final turn and exit. It's very important to get off the best acceleration and top speed across the DRS line and what would be the finish line, but no, Tolga decided, hey, I'm going to pit because I locked up. Good job, Tolga, looking after your tires. So I believe everyone is in their pits except for Monster, who's sitting in 9th place after a 1:27.238, but currently sitting on pole is Fountain. Fountain looking just wonderful right now. Driving for Ferrari. He's enjoying it. He's in a team with his best bud, Alan T. Ferrari's looking for a better result, especially after Alan T. Let's talk about Alan T, actually. The very first F1 Rapid Racers champion, in his very first race, decides to have a little bit of incident in the first race, and we totally, us being the professional race organization that we are, we totally didn't meme it. So, yeah, we totally didn't, meme, it up. We totally didn't, we totally didn't mock him for it. No. We totally did not just, meme that up. But that's beyond the point. Let's go back to the qualifying here at Bahrain, as I believe Ality is going on his flying lap. So let's go on board with Ality. Alan looking for that first win in Season 3. Looking for a better position, honestly, than where he's at. I believe he's dead last, or second to last in the championship, with whoever he crashed out at the start. 222444, whatever his name he changed it to, as he's very clean off that exit. A lot of wheel spin coming from the rear ends, popping gears, sliding the car around that hairpin. Tokyo drifting it around that exit, a little bit of oversteer, but he is hard on the acceleration and throttle going into these sweepers into sector 3. Coming around this long right-hander, looking for the best exit that he can on this side straight. Into the final corner. Let's see what Alan T does. Opens up DRS. And across the line, sits him into third. with a 1:26.095. That is... it's pretty good, but it's not on pace with his teammate and Girex, who are both on their outlaps. But somebody who's looking to have a better outlap, or just better lap than the first time, is Merrick, sitting in 5th. Last season, he was leading the race. He was pushing for most of the race. And then an issue happened where he, where on the very last lap, his tire blew. So that was disastrous for Merrick, and he's not looking for a repeat of that. Well, he's looking for a repeat race, but not the same result, as he's looking really clean coming through the first sector, few corners. As Adrian is left for some reason. We'll get a confirmation. We'll get a message from him later. As a little bit of plumes of smoke is coming out of I guess that's just the heat coming out the back of Merrick's car, and not an engine issue, but it'd be really interesting in that. But ACR Jan Feller sits it up into 3rd place as we are on board with Merrick, so that is very interesting thing to see him up there. He definitely had a great lap as Merrick. It's a bit sluggish going through turn 3 and 4, just everywhere in sector 2. I guess he's just taking this easy as another outlap. Doesn't really seem he's pushing. Yeah, he's just weaving and warming up his tires. So let's go on board with the battle for first between Foten and Girex. Girex is ahead of Foten. That's a rev glitch. And it's back. But Girex opens up DRS across the line. Does he beat Foten? Yes, he does. 1:25.5. Let's go down to Foten. What does Foten have to say? As he's coming down across the back straight. Opens up DRS across the line. No. Just a bit slower. 0.042 is their gap. Merrick. He's on his flying lap. Now that is him pushing. Monster drifting his car around. Around the track, pushing it all the way through sector 2, as we have a live look at the stream viewer points as they finally popped on as I got everything working there. As oh wait, that was from the mass 100 points that I gave everyone. But Monster opens up DRS and across the line, sits him in 7th as Foten, as the lead still belongs to Foten, to Girex, Foten, and then Merrick, who sits in 3rd. I don't know why it was saying Monster in 7th as we were watching Merrick. But before the race happens, I want y'all's predictions on who's going to get the win today. Just type that in chat. Who is going to get the win here in Bahrain? The winner of that will get an extra 100 points and the Streamlabs leaderboards. And the top viewer of these leaderboards will get, I don't know, an award for being the most loyal Rapid Racers fans. So, something to look by. Something to look by if you want to be involved in the viewer championship, as we would like to call it, or the Rapid Points Championship on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, watch us live every Saturday at 8 p.m. UTC or 2 p.m. Central Time Zone if you're American. I'm American. As we're just watching Merrick come back into the pits with around 3 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Got about 1 lap to go as everyone's just sitting in the pits right now. Everyone, except for Assassin. Assassin is coming on his outlap and ready to go. As we are going to fix one thing. 1 second. I feel like I know what's up. There we go, that fixed it. Return to qualifying. Assassin on these soft tires. Very interesting strategy as everyone still has that rev glitch going on, but you know, you just gotta sometimes gotta run with that. As it says he's been running a 8-minute long sector 3. Okay. But he comes across the line, opens up DRS, and he's ready to go on these soft tires, looking for that different strategy. Everyone in this field, let's just see the gap to the leader. It's 1st through 7th, all within a second of each other. This is one packed field, but look at the gap between Gearx and Foe. This is going to be a sprint gladiator battle to the end. We got Merrick sitting half a second behind, so he's definitely just going to sit back there in that 3rd row and just going to watch the battle ahead of him. Probably attack at a moment's notice going into turn 1 in case something happens. Speaking of turn 1, how much of a crash do you think is going to happen there? I hope a lot. As... oh. This Tosik's not Toga. But Assassin looking good on these soft tires. Remember, if you qualify in the top 10, you must start on the tire you qualified your fastest lap on. So, I believe Merrick had 2 laps on his. We got a retirement from Janab. I believe that was he was unhappy with his lap, and he has a minute to start a new one. But Gearx still sitting at the top. Let's see what Assassin does. Comes around the final turn, hard on the throttle, and opens up the DRS. And across the line, no improvement, no nothing, still in 10th as he pulls down to the lower side of the road to signal that he's done. Let's go over to Foten. Foten, how are you feeling? How you doing? I believe he is coming down to start his flying lap right now. Where's Gearx actually? Gearx is just up the road of him, so we're going to have Gearx to start, then we're going to finish with Foten as we see him just come along turn 1 in the background. But on board with Gearx, can he extend his lead on Foten? Big lockup going into the hairpin. We see a few cars just down there. We have our first finisher. Officially, it's Toga finishing in 12th. The lower field, as we got a big jump from Nikki as he jumps into 7th place. Is now the top 8 are within a second of each other. Gearx just now pushing, realizing that he's still got less than a 10th of a second to Foten. So that's just an insane amount. It's almost as insane as the .001 we had for a different place, I believe, in Hungary. But Gearx comes across the line. Where's that put him? He does increase his time just slightly, and he's now .067 seconds ahead of Foten. Foten now pushing, going across the very final corner, down the front straight, opens up DRS, and where does that put him? No improvement. Tough for Foten, but the last car to go across the front is Jan Feller. He's just going to the pits, and there's your qualifying for round 2 here in Bahrain. It's Gearx taking pole. So as I somehow gain experience for commentating a race and not taking progression in it, here are your qualifying results. It's Gearx taking pole, followed by Foten on the front row. Second row, it's Merrick and Feller. Third row, it's Path and Alan T. Fourth row, it's Nikki and Monster. Fifth row, it's Some Idiot and Andersife. Sixth row, it's Assassin and Tolga. And seventh row is Janab and Silent Ace coming up at the end. Very interesting that the entire top 8 first few rows are all within a second of each other. So it's going to be a battle to the finish as we're going to the loading screen and getting ready to go racing. Remember, if y'all are watching live, post it in the chat on who you want me to spectate. And I will if there is no battle going on. As we are ready to go racing, I have to fix something. But here we are in Bahrain, ready for the formation lap. We see all the cars in the background weaving around. Sorry if I was tapped out. I was busy checking something in the background because I'm testing out a new system today and we're just getting all the details and kinks worked out. Let's take a look at this tire strategy. Is the entire top 10 starting on their old super soft tires and everyone else outside starting on those soft tires. Gearx looking very comfortable that he's starting up there on pole. Let's go to Foten. Actually, let's see what car... Okay, Tosix is starting in the Renault. I believe that is what he wanted. Let's go to Foten. Starting second. Looking to make a very good jump into turn 1. Maybe some aggressive moves by Merrick. Looking for a better race here than last season. Remember, he had that puncture on the very last lap, kicking him out of the lead. Definitely looking for an improvement. Let's go to Alan T. Not where he wanted to qualify, especially after that incident on the first round, on the first lap. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. He's looking for a more consistent race, maybe a long-term battle of strategy going into the final laps of this 29-lap race. Some Idiot looking very confident after his debut win in another league. Maybe that will give him some confidence to keep in the points. Monster, last year's Bahrain Grand Prix winner here in the Rapid Racers, looking to improve as we're finally lining up here in Bahrain. We are waiting on Tosix and the back of the field to get ready to go. Let's get right on to it. It's 4, 5 red lights. Let's go racing here in Bahrain. An amazing start by Gearx. He was the first to let off, but look in the back of Silent Ace. Gets a great start by him, Feller. And Merrick and Alan T. Big 4 wide. Everyone's keeping space. There is no chaos in turn 1. How about turn 2 and 3? But look at Nikki and Path side by side racing, but Gearx, Merrick, and Foten, the entire top 3, but it's the battle of Path and Nikki, them side by side. The other McLaren's getting into it. We see both the Force Indias, Andersife and Some Idiot get together just a little bit, but Path and Feller and both McLarens are all holding it on. Feller sends it up the inside of Path. Oh my goodness, they're going 3 wide in the very midfield, 4th, 5th place, for 4th place actually, as Yan locks up, taps the back of Path. Let's go into the leader of Gearx, Foten, and Merrick as we're being led on our opening lap. Very clean first corners by everyone here, as these three are just running away with it. Okay, I've had a bit of time to breathe. Let's go back to the action between Jan, Feller, Nicky, and Path, both McLarens and Williams, as they're having a battle for 4th. Feller getting really close on the back of Path, sitting in that slipstream, but it is the opening lap, so you gotta remember this is a 29 lap race, not a 1 lap race. This ain't no online lobby, 5 lap ranked lobby. This is a 29 lap race, as Assassin on those super softs gets a really nice start, but we got a move forming from Merrick as he's closing in on Foten very closely. Merrick looking to jump Foten very soon. We see that entire train of everyone sitting in that wake. Everyone's slipstream just getting closer and closer. I really want to watch that Path battle, but Merrick and Foten are both putting on a chasing battle of the leaders. Let's go back into the midfield of Feller and Nicky as they chase down Path. Yeah, they're second down from the leaders, so let's go over to the leading battle of the top 3 as everyone is still finding their position and in that battle, as Gearx has pushed out an entire second ahead of Foten and Merrick in 2nd and 3rd. But it's not a commanding lead. He's just sitting there, just barely extending at, because Foten has to keep eyes on Merrick, make sure he doesn't try anything going into the first turns. Remember, DRS is not enabled. It's enabled at the end of this lap. Actually, it's enabled right now. So we should see some moves happening on the back straight in Sector 2. But Merrick, half a second down on Foten. Trying to close that gap as much as he can, looking for that move on that back straight. He's definitely getting closer. Half a second down on him. Let's follow how he goes. Everyone's on these. Remember, they're on the old super soft tires that they qualified on. I believe Merrick had the oldest tires of these already, so he's looking for a earlier pit stop. See, overshoots the corner just a little bit. Hard on the gas, but he does open up DRS as he chases down Foten. 0.6 at the start. 0.6 at the back. Looks like Foten used some ERS, or Merrick didn't have the best exit coming out of that corner. But he is still chasing down Foten for P2. The leaderboards will be affected greatly by this race, especially if one of these 3 guys wins. They will overtake the lead for the championship since Danny is not here today. Formula Danny, the current championship leader, as Path and Feller. They're going for it. They're side by side. Feller went around him using DRS, but Path dives down the inside. They're side by side going into turn 1, and it looks like it's going to be Feller, but Path pushes Feller off into the wall. Feller saved it, but Path got his front wing in there and just pushed him up. I believe there's a car off up there. That's Silent Ace. Silent Ace is in the wall and he's out of this race. Oh, he was avoiding the incident of Feller spinning around, and I believe lost control and he went to the wall. Tough race for Silent Ace. Hopefully we can get a message from him later on in the broadcast. But what a crazy move by Path, diving down into the front, into the back of Feller, got his front wing in there. Looked like it pushed him off kind of a little bit, or gave Feller a type of I believe everyone's on their pit stops and everything right now. It's around the time people should be taking pit stops and stuff. Let's take a look at the tires. Yes, the first stops have happened. All the super softs have changed into the medium tires, as Path and Silent Ace are both out of this race. I do not know what's happened, but Assassin is leading the race. Let's take a look at the battle for 9th place between Some Idiot and Alan T right now. Some Idiot, Alan T battling for 9th. Alan T on those fresher medium tires. I believe he just came into a pits and just made a move on Some Idiot. Actually, as it looks like, yes, he is pulling away and chasing down on his teammate. No, not his teammate. Monster isn't on Ferrari. He's on Alfa Romeo. Yes, it is part of Ferrari, but no, it's its own entity. But he is closing on the hunt of monsters, as Assassin, the leader, is coming into the pits on those worn tires as Janab inherits the lead, but Alan T is chasing down Monster. He's almost front wing the gearbox as he is closing in on him. But oh, down the front straight, here they go, they're side by side. It's Alan T, it's Nikki, and everyone is ready to go. It's Alan T around the outside of Nikki. No, Alan T around the outside of Monster, and yes, he does get it. I don't know why I was thinking Nikki right there. But he does make the move stick on Monster, and now his next is 3 seconds up the road of Assassin. But don't think twice about Monster. Monster is known for battling and not giving up a fight. But Alan T has just got the pace and the tires on them to just be pulling away. And yes, he does make it stick and pulls and is pulling away. Let's take a look at, no, let's keep our eyes on Monster. Monster is pulling back just a little bit. He is pushing a lot as, oh my goodness, Alan T went wide. Another mistake from Alan T has cost him as he's gone wide and slid it around the outside. Oh no! I thought Alan T had it in the bag as everyone's coming into the pits right now. Merrick and Monster, Janab's in the pits, Toastix is in the pits. As Alan T and Monster once again, Alan T around the outside of turn 1, but Monster defends from Alan T. And Monster is holding it off from Alan T. But Alan T still chasing down on Monster as they're coming into this hairpin in Sector 2 after the S's. Great camera angle as Alan T and Monster are still chasing after Alan T, desperate to make ground up as he sits in 6th place. If he wants to have any position in this championship, he must need all moves correctly as he's going side by side down the inside, and he makes it. Does he make it stick? Monster's coming down to the inside for the switchback, and they're battling, they're swinging, they're going around each other, and yes, it does hold as Alan T gets the overtake on Monster. What a great fight between these two drivers. Oh my goodness, is back. As now Monster extends the track just a little bit, trying to gain some extra ground. He has DRS. It's a drag race here in Bahrain, as it looks like Monster may try for a move. No, he doesn't. As Alan T is now just extending from him. But Some Idiot has joined the fight as well. It's now a three-way fight for 5th place. It's Alan T, it's Monster, and some idiot. Ferrari, Sauber, and Racing Point Force India. I'm still saying that. As they're all battling it out right now for these precious points that they need, as some idiot is now gaining on Monster. Monster's gaining. It's actually losing track of Alan T, but some idiot and Monster now is the main battle, as both of them have DRS. And some idiot sitting in that slipstream is probably just going to watch this fight happen. As Alan T is pulling away from Monster right now, as he's almost extended his lead to an entire second. Yes, he does. Monster and some idiot chasing down Alan T, but Monster just barely holds it in with the second. He does have DRS, but so does some idiot, and every lap, no, some idiot is actually falling behind a Monster. Their pace is just too high, or he's just going to look after his tires. Remember, we've had some tire issues as our leaders are now back, and let's take a look from the tires to position change. Our biggest mover of this race is Assassin, who sits 7 places up from where he qualified. Congratulations to Assassin right now. Oh, Monster gets a little bit hung up in that hairpin, as now Monster chasing down Alan. It's Alan that got hung up. Monster chasing him. A little bit tongue twister right there. But this is the battle for 5th. Some idiot's just sitting behind these two, looking after his tires, as Monster and Alan. Monster on the older medium tires. All of them have had one stop. So they're heading onto the front straight for lap 18. But Monster is chasing down Alan T right now. They're almost front wing gearboxes, I would say. But Monster has closed that 0.8 second gap down to half a second. He is pushing it right now. Believe they're all on the one-stop strategy, but a savior move to the super softs or soft tire may save them right now. The soft tires last around 12 laps, so they could all switch onto them right now if they would want to force a two-stop strategy. Maybe if you're in the back, that could lead to the fastest lap being ascended. But Monster is just pushing it on Alan T. Pressure as Alan's pace is just going down. But Monster 9 laps in on these medium tires. I believe one of the first drivers come in. Yes, he is. But we have a battle for the lead. Foten is actually caught up to Gearx. Foten within a second of Gearx. I'm stuck with these. Spot the track. But Foten and Gearx now battling out for the lead. Foten within a second of Gearx. Let's go to this lead and watch this battle unfold. Both of them 9 laps on these old medium tires. But Foten is closing down on Gearx. But, oh, bad oversteer, and that pushes Gearx just ahead, but he still's got the 1 second of DRS as he passed the timeline within a second. And he's now trying to close in on the leader right now. Foten just trying to hold Ferrari's pride up in the air of victory from the dominating Mercedes. It was a Mercedes 1-2 last week, and they do not want a repeat of that. Ferrari definitely want that win. But no, Gearx is just pulling away. As soon as I saw that battle, I was very excited, but it just doesn't look like Foten has the pace to close down on Gearx. They're all the same tires. I guess it's just the pace that's going on over here, as Gearx is definitely still pulling away from Foten. Take a look back at Monster and Alan T, who are separated by only half a second. This is the battle for 5th. What a switch between both of these battles going on right now. 10 laps to go here in Bahrain. So we take a look at Monster's tires. They're a bit worn as he's chasing down Allen. He's that half a second gap falling down to 0.8 seconds. But with DRS, he brought it back up almost. If he didn't have DRS right there, he would have been out of a second gap to Allen. But luckily, he had that front line speed. So he goes extremely wide off those curves. Luckily, he kept his car straight as he's chasing down the Ferrari of Allen for 5th. We have a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Who that might be on? Oh! It's Toga! What has happened to Toga? Oh my goodness, he has lost his entire front wing! What has happened to Toga's front wing? It's just gone missing. That definitely requires a pit. Luckily, he's still in the race. With 9 laps to go, I believe he can go onto some super soft tires or some soft tires, but that is tough for the Haas driver. We are still green here in Bahrain as Alan T and Monster are battling out. Oh no, Toga just retires. He says, I'm done with this and I'm out. Dash table flipped it. But Monster sitting very close in that slipstream of Alan T. They're still battling it out. Let's go on board with Monster and watch his moves on Alan. So speaking of a battle heading on, Janab and Adresaif are battling in 9th place just behind them. Janab on these really fresh tires, 6 laps fresh on these medium tires compared to Adresaif's 10 lap old tires right now. So watch Janab get tons of grip, just unexplaining amounts of grip as he's going side by side with Adresaif, and this overtakes him with ease. And that's 8th place for him. So, no, Adresaif does not bring it back. The pride of Spain fights him off, and they're still having a side-by-side drag race coming down of the turn 3 straight. Hitting turn 4. Janab's on the inside, Adresaif's on the outside. They're side-by-side going through the turn. It's Adresaif, it's Janab, it's Adresaif, it's Janab, it's Adresaif, it's Janab with the overtake. But Adresaif still trying to find any ways to fight back. Looked up the inside just a little bit. Maybe gave his back tires just a tap. But they're battling it out for all the marbles right now with 8 laps to go between these two. But Janab does make that overtake stick as his next target is summoned. But Adresaif and Janab are still going at it. Adresaif not giving up any seconds. Foten gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for exceeding track limits. Is not what Foten needs. So he sits 1.5 seconds behind Gearx, but that puts Merrick up into 2nd place. Janab and Adesif. All battling it out. Adesif dives down the inside, stole him a dummy, weaving on the front straight. Big lockup for Janab. As Adesif, let's go on board with him. Looks like he didn't get the best exit off of that corner. That it just sounds rusty. As he's closing down the side straight of Janab. As we see both McLarens in 10th and 11th of Feller and Nicky sitting down there. But Adesif and Janab still going at it in the S's. Let's go back up the field to see on Monster and Allen, as they're just, this is just honestly just courteous of them, as they're just sitting in that gap giving each other DRS. This is a real fight back here between Adesif and Janab. This is just pure grit happening right here. Adesif on the older tires, sticking with Janab on the fresher tires, but they're getting a bit worn right now. These medium tires just, they last long, but not too long, so you gotta have to watch them near the end of the race. Mary can tell you from experience. But Adesif, 0.3 seconds behind of Janab. He's got his DRS open on the front straight. Janab dives down the inside. Adesif dives down with him, slings it to the outside, swings it down to the inside. He forced it, he sold him a dummy, and he gets the overtake. Adesif taking no prisoners. The pride of Spain gets the overtake, but Janab says, anything you can do, I can do better, as he dives down the inside, going to turn 4. And Janab up the inside. They're side by side going to the S's. They're touching wheelbases, but it's Janab, it's Adesif, it's Janab, it's Adesif. Janab down the inside of this hairpin. They're still side by side. This is awesome. But Adesif gets the overtake coming down the inside of this another hairpin, following up after that. What a crazy battle, as Feller has joined the mix, saying, hey guys, you want the party? Welcome to the party. It's a three-way fight, as Janab and Adesif are still front wing to gearbox with each other. It's like they're glued to each other's car. What a crazy battle between these two, as Feller is just closing in on them. It's a three-way fight now for 8th. They're all taking it easy through this final corner, but on this front straight, it's no holds bar. It's all rough and tumble. Let's get our camera on the guy in the middle. Where does he go? He dives down the inside. They're side by side. Where does Feller goes down the inside? He's just going to sit back and let this happen, as Janab dives down the inside, but Adesif dives down the inside. Janab shoots it to the outside. It's a three-way fight. Adesif's on the draft of Janab. They're three-way heading into turn 4. Feller dives around all two of them, and he goes around the outside. Oh my goodness, three-way fight. Is it good? It's just right, and oh my goodness, come on. But Feller gets the double overtake on these two, as Janab and Adesif still scrapping at it for P9. What a crazy battle going on for points here in the midfield. But now Janab, Nicky has joined the fight as well. Crazy, crazy battle happening on, and I don't want it to end. My face hurts. What a crazy battle we just witnessed. Maybe they'll take it a bit easy. 4 laps to go. Gearx sitting in the lead. Comfortable. We aren't shooing away from this battle heading on for points. Toastix and Nicky. Nicky in the back of that fight, definitely looking for points. Looks like Nicky's actually gotten to the back of Janab. Well, we have another three-way fight going on right here. DRS for all three of them. Are they just going to regroup, as it looks like Feller's just pulling away from all of them? Yes, they are. Let's go on board with Janab in this fight between these two. Actually, 3. Janab getting really close. Front wing to gearbox. They're all front wing to gearbox with each other. It's Janab on airside. Nicky on Janab. McLaren on Williams. Williams on Force India. I was about to say some idiot. But no, Janab has to hold off Nicky for that P10 spot, for that crucial point needed in the championship. In a championship, all about points. 1 point makes a difference. Janab opens up DR. They all have DRS open. Janab closing in on Nicky. Janab going around the outside. Nicky going around the outside. Oh, why is saying Janab that entire time? But it's now 2 battles going on. The battle for 1 point and the battle for 5. But Nicky down the inside of Janab. It's like those tires are not paying off for him, but it's still a front straight battle as Nicky and Janab. Nicky dives down the inside, scrubs across the nose. Janab diving down the inside as well, scrubbing around the outside. Nicky holding him off. And yes, Nicky does get the overtake. Janab sliding his car around the opening corners. And that is a big gap now down there, as we might have a battle for second going on over here from this giant backfield battle with 3 laps to go. All the top 3 in the same camera shot, but Garrick's just way out there. But Merrick is closing in on Foten. Does Foten have a fuel problem? Is he conserving fuel? Has he been pushing this entire lap? But Merrick closing in on Foten. He's already in net second place because Foten has that 5-second penalty. So either he's just taking it easy, but Merrick is closing in. He's looking for that on-track position. Foten dives down the inside, or just middle of the track. But Merrick taking up that DRS with 2 laps to go here in Bahrain. Oh man, that gap has closed a lot. Foten's pace has just dropped down to nothing. They're all on the same tire length, but we got Merrick closing in that gap. He's actually closed it up by so much that he does have it. But Foten is just off the pace. He's dropped down 2 seconds from Gearx, so either he's low on fuel and he's just sitting in low fuel mode, or he's out of ERS right now and he's just got to recharge that, or he's both because he's been pushing so much. But it's now Merrick and Foten battling out for second. Right now, Merrick opens up DRS, trying to close in on Gearx. He goes around the outside of Foten, battling till the end, pushing him off the track actually. Foten still sitting ahead of Merrick. Let's go on board with Merrick right now during this battle. Merrick look for a move around the outside, go and try to dive down the inside, get a switch back on Foten, but we got a yellow flag in sector 1. What has happened here? Let's go on board with Janab. No issue there. Oh, Feller. He's going real slow. Is that a puncture? I think that's a puncture. Feller's got a puncture. Feller does have a puncture. It happened again 2 seasons in a row, so the driver gets a puncture as Merrick gets the overtake on Foten. But Foten still battling out with Merrick. Foten dive down the inside. Now they're going to go side by side around turn 4. They bang wheels. They tap once, they tap twice. Feller gets a 3-second time penalty, but Merrick dives it onto the curbs as they're battling out still. It's Merrick holding it on. That front wing and gearbox action. Right now, remember, Foten has a 5-second Foten has a 5-second penalty, so he's technically already in second place, but I guess it's just the on-track action that is pushing Merrick right now. But Foten dropped down 5 seconds to Gearx right now. There's obviously something with his car, as Merrick and Foten are still battling out right now. for second place. We got 1 lap to go here in the desert under the lights. But both these guys just sitting with each other. Both of them just sitting in that slipstream, not wanting to make a move. Merrick's already accepted that he won't give up the position. He's going around the outside. They touched! That big slam of both wheels for both drivers. Bowen up the inside, pushes Merrick wide, but Merrick slims past him in turn 2. He keeps it in turn 3, dives down the inside to Foten. Foten around the outside. It's a drag race here in the desert, but Merrick holds him off for second. Foten dived down the inside for the switchback in the battle for the S's. It's Merrick around the outside, and yes, he does get it on the inside. Foten switching around, trying to find any ground. Goes extremely wide as Assassin is closing in on Foten. Oh my goodness. Foten's got a puncture. It was tire issues. Foten has spun it on the hairpin as Alan T almost crashed it in disastrous races for Ferrari on the last lap. Foten gets a puncture as Garrix is cruising home. Around the final few corners, punctures everywhere. Punctures for Janab. Garrix has got a puncture. Garrix has got a puncture in the back right. Back right. Merrick get. Oh my goodness, that's 3 punctures. Merrick is closing in. Where's Merrick? Where's Merrick? Merrick around the final corner. Merrick down the front straight. Is it going to be a side-by-side? But no, Garrix wins it on the flat. Three punctures on the same lap. What a crazy race. Congratulations, Garrix, for the win. I guess Merrick had a penalty while we were gone, but it's Garrix taking first with the flat, followed by Assassin in second place, and Merrick in third, followed by Alan T getting a good points finish in fourth, with Monster in fifth. Some idiot finishes way up there in sixth, with Foten with the flat on the last lap, finishing down in seventh, followed by Adersife as he hatred move onto some idiot. Some strong words for the 2 Force idiots. As Janab in ninth, with Nikki picking up a point down in 10th as we are waiting for Feller. But huge congratulations to Garrix winning the race, edging it out for the win on the back straight. On the front straight with a huge puncture, huge stroke of luck. Merrick saw the lead, but no, he finishes on the podium in third. Bahrain, puncture hell. What a crazy finish to a race. Mercedes, they win 2 in a row here in Rapid Racers. Oh my god. What a crazy race. Here is the result. It's Garrix taking the win, followed by Assassin, Merrick, Alan T, Monster, Some Idiot, Foten, Adersive, Janab, Nikki, Feller, Tosix, Toga, and Path. And Silent Ace coming up at the end. Let's go into the driving zone and talk to the winner of Garrix. If I can find him. Where's Garrix? He's not there. Let's talk to Merrick. Merrick, how are you feeling after that race? Not only was there complete punctures, you didn't get a puncture, but Foten got a puncture, and Garrix got a puncture, and you were coming up the very back straight, but sadly out of time penalty, and you finished down in third. How was that race for you?
The race was pretty good, to be honest, and it's sad that I got a time penalty because I was struggling in the first stint in the dirty air of Foten, and got a bit wide here and there, got a time penalty then. But in the pits, I actually got held because some idiot came into the pits as well, and he was right in the window. And after that, I had 4 seconds. I was 4 seconds back on Fountain and Garrix, and yeah, but I knew I could come back eventually because in the first stint I saw that my pace was really good on worn tires. So I just kept cool and tried my best. Sad that I got a time penalty in the end, but no puncture.
All right. Well, congrats on the podium. We're going to head into the massive driving zone right now.
It normally affects the host, and I didn't get it.
No, remember on last year on Monza when you retired, I get a screen froze for like 5 seconds. It starts to happen since then. Like it didn't happen at all in this game, but since 110 they introduced 110 to this game, it happens on every lobby. Whenever someone leaves, I get a screen freeze. Whenever an instant change of color happens in front of my screen in the game, I get a screen freeze. So
I was gonna say I had a bunch of screen freezes myself right during qualifying because I thought I was tapped out and then it tapped me back in. I was getting like 10 FPS. I had to stop and restart my recording to actually get it back.
Now, I was recording, but when I pit, I stopped recording just in case if it's getting caused by the recording, but it didn't because after the recording it kept happening, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna teleport on top of someone and I want ghost and I'm gonna like fuck both of our races, so I just retired in the pit lane again.
Yeah, I hear you.
All
Oh,
right.
by the way, Mark, I'm sorry I held
you.
you up in the pits. I'm sorry I held you up in the pits. I didn't mean to.
All
you should
right.
probably let Righty go.
Yeah. All right, well, let's have a congratulations to Gearx right now. Gearx, how do you feel after just barely escaping and carrying out that win with a puncture on the last 2 straights? And you had a 5-second gap to Merrick, but you just barely eked out a win with a flat. How was your race?
I'm feeling, thank you. Oh my god, it was a pretty tough race. In the middle of the second stint, Photon had a better race, I think, and I had to push a little bit harder, and I think that's why my rear tires got in a pretty bad shape, and in the end I tried to set the fastest lap, and it caused me a puncture.
Well, it didn't cost you the win, but I'm pretty sure Mercedes is just happy with the W, but tell you not to do it again.
Sure.
All right, let's go to second place of Assassin. How are you feeling after that race and after those crazy battles you were seeing all around you? But I didn't really see you in any, so you just kind of inherited second place. How was your race?
So started on the softs, P11. Basically, I just had to be patient and just take the opportunities as and when they arose. A few incidents helped me, but if only it was one more lap, that would have been a race win.
All right, let's talk down to Alan. He had a pretty scary incident in the middle of the race where he was battling with, I don't know who it was. I think it was Monster. I believe it was Monster. Where he flew extremely wide out of the corner. I thought he did Australia again, but luckily he saved it from the wall and managed to finish 4th. Alan, how was your race?
Well, the qualifying is definitely my undoing this season, and we had a little bit difficulties with finding good strategy for both me and Photon, and Photon being better in qualifying, we decided he hits lap 8, and well, that meant that I had to go a little bit further, and the first stop was quite hard because I had to make the super soft last for 9 laps. So lost quite a bit time there, and then Monster did very good undercut on me, and he was very fast today. We had some nice battles, and I made that little mistake as well. But at the end, quite nice race, lots of action.
Well, that's 12 points for you in the leaderboard. That puts you onto the leaderboard for the first time in Season 3. Let's go to Monster, who finishes in 5th. Monster, how was your race?
Yeah, pretty good. As Alan said already, we had some nice fights. He was my personal DRS assistant for like 15 laps or 20 laps. But yeah, in the end, I just had to save tires. I was at 60% brake bias, and some idiot was coming. So happy to finish in front of him, and was a nice race.
All right. Well, some idiot, you finished up from your qualifying position of 9th all the way to 6th. You were actually just sitting on the coattails of Monster that what looks like that entire race. That's 8 points for you. How do you feel about that race?
How do I say? I honestly felt like I just maximized what I could today, very simply. I mean, I was ahead of Alan and Monster at points, but it's like, what am I going to do to fight them? So pretty much let both of them go and just drove as hard as I could. Adri is a real MVP, holding back Janab and the McLarens. Made it possible for me to get P6, and he even did an awesome job, got P8.
I want to talk. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that little thing right now. Between Adersife, Janab, and Feller, that 3-way fight. Oh my god.
Was it better than the 3-way between me, Janab, and Failer in Australia?
It lasted a few quarters, but it was... Oh. Adersife, just take us through that fight and you're defending on Janab.
I'm happy because I thought I wasn't going to be able to hold Genaf and both McLarens. I thought I was going to finish P11, but at the start Genaf overtook me, and I thought that was it. But I managed to overtook him again, then the 3 wide in turn 3 or 4, I don't remember. And then Feller overtook me, and Jenab and Nikki started to fight. And I don't know what happened to Feller. I want to listen to him now because he just slowed down and let us pass.
All right, Feller.
And I think I finished P7 because Photon didn't serve his penalty, but we'll look at it after the race. After all, good race for everyone today.
Photon had a puncture halfway through the last lap. That's what happened. But let's go to Feller. No, not Feller. Let's go to Janab and bring us through that battle.
Yeah, I was betting Adri the whole time, and I don't know. At a certain point after the pit stop, I think I broke myself at the pit lane exit, and that's why he got past me. Then he was just quicker than me at first. Then I thought I would just close down the gap, because I know that I can push for a few laps, but not more. So then I was in front of him. He overtook me on the straight, which was very great. Very great overtake, and then yeah, sometime Fella joined the battle as well, and we went 3 wide. I don't really know what happened there. I just thought I will, let them have the corner because, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see everything, and then Nikki was there as well, but slowed down, and then I finished P9.
All right. Well, let's talk to Feller. It was really he got that double overtake from that battle and very opportunistic on him. Feller, bring us through that overtake in your race. How was that?
Yeah, the overtake was for sure the most fun part. Catching them both into the final corner, I was already like, Janab is going to have DRS, so that's going to be either 3 wide into turn 1, or I just have to back out of it and don't bother about those 2 at first now. So I decided to not bother first, and then I saw how quickly I actually caught up through turn 1, 2, and 3. And so I decided to go around the outside of them in turn 4, and that worked brilliantly. It was great fun.
All right.
Unfortunately, the rest of the race wasn't, because I got squeezed by Path a little bit in turn 3, which was fair and everything, but the game decided that I made an illegal overtake on him, so I had to let him go. And then during the first 3, 4, 5 laps, I don't know, I was stuck behind Path because he was lagging forwards and backwards every time, and it was just impossible to predict what his car was going to do. So it was very difficult to overtake him. And when I actually got alongside him, got past him around the outside of turn 1, I was a bit too greedy on throttle, eventually making the move stick, and I guess I spun out myself there and dropped back to the back of the grid. And also 3 laps before the end, I got a puncture on the rear left. So yeah, that was it.
Well, hopefully next race is better. Let's go over to Nikki. How was your race today?
Well, actually quite silent. I didn't have many battles. I just followed Fehler through, but at the end my tires were at 83% because I pitted at lap 7. And well, the incident with Path was kind of unlucky because, as Fehler said, he was always lagging in front of us. Forwards and backwards, and also before we had contact, I don't know, he was constantly lagging, and I have it on camera or on video, so we will.
Something for the stewards to look at.
Yep.
All right. Well, hopefully next race is better for you. Just congrats on a clean race, honestly. Let's go over to Toastix. How was your race? In a Renault, actually.
Yeah. I was alone, the whole race, because I couldn't load up my setup, and I drive with the default setup, and yeah.
Well, at least your internet didn't go out like certain commentators.
Yeah. And
just be thankful for what you have.
I don't know why I couldn't load my setup. Is it because I joined at the qualifying?
Yeah, that's the reason.
That's the reason.
Okay. Yeah, but I bring Ava's car back home.
All right. Well, the German Armada will be certainly thankful that you brought his car back home in one piece. Let's go down to Tolga. Tolga, how was your race?
Is my voice actually okay at the moment because I'm uploading a video?
Yes.
Well, it was full of screen freezes, let's say like that. And on the last screen freeze I had, it happened during a corner instead of a straight. So I went into the wall. And then I decided that it would be danger for the other people if I screen freeze in front of someone or something like that. So then I just pit and retired to provide safety to other drivers from me.
All right. Well, I believe that's everyone for today, except for everyone's favorite driver, some idiot. What are your thoughts?
You haven't interviewed Merrick. You haven't interviewed Merrick.
I have. I've
me.
already interviewed Merrick. I interviewed him before everyone else, didn't I?
Oh, really?
Oh, VIP driver.
Channel, so we didn't hear him. Oh.
Psych. All right, some idiot. How was your race?
I already kind of told you how it went. It was just me maximizing what I could, really. I mean, maybe at best I could have caught Monster at the end, but I mean, I just wasn't good enough on the rear tires. I ran about. I don't think I drove bad. It was just a bad setup. Yeah, drift to setup. There you go. I'm just drifting everywhere. No, it wasn't that bad, but I was just using up all the rear tires, left most of the left rear, but I was actually fairly balanced on the rears. But yeah, like I said, just maximized what I could. You're not going to get a long rant out of me today, so you can enjoy that.
All right. Well, thank you for that interview, guys. Hopefully, thank you for a pretty okay ending part of the race as Fellers uploaded the fun part.mp4. I'm going to have that playing in the background. But thank you, Feller, for that. And thank you, everyone, for a great race today. Thank you all for a great race today. And we will see you in the next race.
China.
In China next week. As I'm figuring out how to do stuff.
You're the actual idiot here. I'm just the fake idiot.
Wait,
I'm just
where did Ellen qualify?
P7? 6 or 7? Because I qualified P9. Oh, 6. Okay, thank you.
I can